All right, here we go. Just want to say thanks, guys, for being here. Thanks for tuning in to the first episode of VibeCheck. Very excited about what this could turn into. Kind of what I'm envisioning for VibeCheck right now is I just want to plan on interviewing some visionaries and some people that are trying to make a positive difference in our culture, and kind of just use this as a platform for them to gain a platform. So maybe just to gain some exposure to their background and their story, and what motivates them to create a positive difference, and how we can use this platform to maybe support them through that. So I'm really excited to bring this to you guys. Made my bed for you, so hope that makes up for the lack of video editing skills. And I guess we'll go from here. Thanks, guys. I almost forgot. Don't forget to subscribe. Give us some love. But yeah, so we got Ramon Clyburn here. We got founder CEO of HopeNation. Also musician and apparently now pre-med student at Western Kentucky. Am I right?
You know what it is. Biology, yeah. Pre-med. Pre-med.
Nice. Cool. Well, first and foremost, I want to shout out our sponsors. We got Hedge Card. What's up? We got Hedge Cards.
Dang.
Also,
Dang.
other sponsor, I'm going to give the shout out here to HopeNation. So,
You already know.
thanks for
That's
bringing
the
it
family.
together here.
Nah, there you go.
I guess just hit us with HopeNation. So, tell us a little bit about the mission behind that and what you're going for.
Yeah. Shit, man, starting out with, just helping people for real. That's the main case. That's the main cause of Hope Nation. First of all, it's my first time being interviewed, so shout out my boy Bryce. Let's get it out the way. But just helping, man. So in regards of like how we're helping and how it started. How it started was really just, a vision of helping kids who are going through the same thing I went through growing up, and just to let them know like there are good decisions you can make, there are good choices you can make. There is a way out, first of all, and then trying to figure out a way to help them, meaning which avenue was I going to take to help them. And that all started with just, every holiday trying to get money here and there. Started with like my own pockets. But first of all, I want to say you've been here since day one. So a lot of people whoever sees this, like I want y'all to know that like I ain't just like build this shit on my own. Like you've definitely been here since day one, as in Bryce, So that's just when, buying turkeys or baskets or whatever, or, collecting money and sending it to my aunt at the church or churches here and there so they can just send it out. I never like really put my name on it. I just let it be known as, hey, this Hope Nation, send the money, they go buy the stuff or whatever. And that's how it started out, just getting things that people would miss out on, every holiday. If kids are missing out on Easter baskets, or shoes or coats when it's in the wintertime, or turkeys, stuffing, whatever at Thanksgiving, whatever we can do. You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest thing, is just helping, man. That's how it started out. The end goal is definitely to my vision, at least what I want to do, because I don't know if it's been done or if it's being done, but what I want to do, something that's deep in my heart, is just to buy a fucking block, buy a block, build some tiny houses, build an apartment building, whatever it is, the case may be, you know, don't even charge for a few months or whatever. And then when it goes on, just to start charging half the rent or whatever they were used to paying. That way
We
you
talked
can get
about
homeless.
that before.
Right, yeah. That way you can get homeless people off the streets and they can have an address. That way we can break the cycle. So let me say this, there's a loop.
Mm-hmm.
There's a loop. If you become homeless, there's a fucking loop, or even if you're not homeless, something else, there's a loop that you get stuck in. There's a cycle you get stuck in that you don't want to get stuck in. Meaning, like, per se, if I'm homeless, Lord forbid that ever happens, as I was growing up, let me just put that out there before, spent years.
All right, yeah. I don't want to
Um,
cut you off, but let's start a little bit with your background too.
um, that's a funny thing. Like, I was born in Hampton, raised in downtown Newport News. You all know what that is? Like, you already know what it is. Spent 9 years there, but the biggest thing is crazy how you can take two walks of life, because downtown Newport News, in hindsight, you think about it, it's not that far from Williamsburg. but it seems like it's on the other side of the world.
Right.
When you live, you know, when those places are polar opposites. They're the polar opposite. There's probably no white people downtown in front of it, like at all. So those things are polar opposite, which is crazy. Grew up there,
Right.
you know, things
So,
happen fast, whatever. Moved, lived in a motel for like years or whatever. You know, ended up going. I don't want to give them too much, you know. Not
right.
that I'm scared, but I don't want to give them too much, you know.
There you go.
But
First interview. Hey, we understand.
we'll come back with a part two. We'll definitely do part two. You know, so y'all stay tuned for that. But that's just the gist of it. You know, I ended up in Williamsburg because my mother
Yeah.
passed. So that's how I ended up in Williamsburg. Fourth grade year. I ended up there. Then after that, you know, that's all she wrote. I spent the year, obviously elementary school. Then I met my boy middle school, 6th grade. You know, that's where I met most of my best friends. Man, that's where I met the people we talk. I mean, we have a group message. Me, you. Out of this group message, you know, me, you, Kim, Brendan, and that's like half the group message right there. You know, that's where I met all of y'all in that time in that realm of you know.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, Toledo, yeah. So I don't know why I said the name, but
Yeah.
I met, you know, Shelby there, same year. Like I met mad people, man, and in a time of need and like a dire need of having people outside of my family in some way. I think that's another reason why I stuck to people so close, why I stuck to certain people from that school so close, is because in that time I was starting to form my own thoughts and build relationships outside of my family for the first time, really. So that was y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all became like a home away from home for me. Became a different life because, you know, I come to school, I be lying, man, like just to cover that shit up. Nobody want to hear, oh, this kid lives blah 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 here. You know, he stink because you know, like he can't wash clothes. Like nobody want to hear that shit. Only person who really knew some shit was you and B, for real, you and Brendan from the jump. Especially you though, you knew way more from the jump. You was my boy. You know what I'm saying? Somebody I could confide in. And that's another thing. I don't stop hiding your feelings 24/7, man. You know, these kids out here, let them know that it's okay to talk. It's okay, especially for a young black man growing up. It's okay to talk to somebody, bro. It's okay to talk. My outlet used to be just writing, but it's okay to talk. It's okay to do that. You ain't got to tell everything. You know, you don't want to talk too much, but it's okay to just, you know what, I'm not having a good day. Simple as that. It's okay to be like that.
No, yeah, that's a good point. Well, yeah, so, and then let's see here. So we met in 6th grade and now
2009?
2009. So what's that? 11 years? Damn.
Hey, I know, right? I know. That's crazy. That is crazy. It's been a while. It's been a while. Before the beard, before the hair, before the, you know, before everything. We were just young.
Right.
Young and born.
Yeah. So then, all right. So then we obviously went to Lafayette. We played some sports.
Yeah. We went to Atlanta for 2 years. Let's get a background.
2 years.
Went to Atlanta for 2 years. 8th grade year, they fucked everything up. And split the whole gang up. Had a little rival for like a good year. And then Lafayette.
That's right. Lafayette, baby. 757.
I know. Crazy.
After high school then, tell us a little bit about what happened. You went into the military.
Yeah. Let's talk about senior year. Let's talk about senior year before when football and all that was in play, and I thought I was gonna be the shit, and then for some reason after that I just gave up on everything essentially. And then school, I definitely didn't have school to fall back on. You know, applied to some schools. Actually, I got my wisdom teeth out my senior year, and then around the same time I got my my letters back from a couple schools I applied to, and man, I had like the biggest, like I never got anxious growing up for real, but I had like the biggest pit in my stomach. Like I just knew it. You know, after all the shit I done did in my life, like I just knew I wasn't about to get accepted. And yeah, I didn't get accepted, so I ain't go to school the next day. My mom
where are you thinking? Where were you
I said
hoping
Liberty. Liberty was the one. Yeah. and y'all know how easy it is to give them liberty. They looking for anybody to come in that mug. So I didn't get accepted. Chilled in the room for like a day, just in like depression, like a deep, like not even depression, just like a deep, like feeling bad for myself. Some weak shit, some real weak shit. Feeling very bad for myself. My mom was like, "I know that's why you in your room." She was true, like it was true. She already knew what was up. I ain't say it, but she knew what was up. So after that, I had a choice to make. It was actually Ricky. Ricky hit me, and Ricky's my mom's husband. For anybody who don't know, Ricky hit me and was like, National Guard, and I was like, but and he was just thinking National Guard, which is like people don't know, it's like a weekend soldier or whatever. You come, you go 1 week in a month, so you can be home working and all that other shit. But I was about to go SWIC, which is like a special forces in the Navy. And I was like, nah, I'm not trying to be on the boat. I'm just not trying to be fucked with like that. Like, I ain't built like that.
Boat.
I ain't built like that, man. Getting shot at and shit, I ain't built like that. So I was like, Army. And then I went to Army, but they were the whole time they're thinking, National Guard, and it eventually became like, no, I'm gonna go active duty, which is a 24/7 thing, Went active duty, got in the Army. I started out in Missouri, Fort Leonard Wood, graduated from there, went back to Virginia to train, left Virginia, went to San Antonio, Texas, then I ended up in Kentucky, trained like in other places from there. But and in that time, man, I was going through a lot of stuff. But in that time, I still was like, you know what, I enrolled online in school, so I enrolled at Liberty online, started working on my GPA, right there. So after that, I ended up getting out, had some surgeries and shit, got hurt, and I ended up getting out, retired, whatever you want to call it. Stayed in Kentucky, moved like a couple hours away from where I was at. Came here, went to a community college. I live in Bowling Green, by the way. Went to a community college and busted my ass. I grind. Like, we're gonna say this. It's kind of embarrassing in a way, but C minus D plus average pretty much was my GPA coming out of high school. So around like a 2.0, maybe like a 1.9, somewhere around there. Just AKA not doing shit. Lazy. I won class clown in high school, so like that'll tell you a lot of what the fuck I was doing.
That's right, you did.
Yeah, class clown in high school, being that guy. So yeah, I mean, grinded. Just applied a couple weeks ago to WKU's biology program, pre-med, whatever you want to call it. Just applied and into the school. So 2 things, and I was nervous again. That whole feeling came back from like, well, I'm 22 now, nigga. I applied. Oh, blooper. 22 now, and I applied. I was, let's say, 17, 16, or whatever, 17. So what's that? 5 years ago. 5 years ago. So I had that same exact feeling I had 5 years ago, a couple weeks ago, whatever you want to call it. And I was just like, man, I don't think I'm gonna get accepted. Like, it's about to be hectic. It's about to be ass. Like, I'm about to just stay at this community college. And then I got my email back, and it was, your boy got accepted.
Let's go.
In that moment, I've been going through some things right now, but in that moment, I was on cloud 9. And I hadn't felt like that in forever. So
you work for that shit though.
Right. When you work and work and work and work and you get something, it's like, damn. Like,
and also a big piece that you kind of left out was you kind of went straight from, at least the way that you told this story, you were talking about you went from applying and getting rejected to 5 years later applying and getting accepted. So what happened in between? I mean, obviously the military, but then what happened between the military and then this point?
So when I was in the military, I was also a college student.
Okay.
I was taking online courses at Liberty. I was a college student, busting my ass. And then I took some off time and came here. Hold on, let me get my charger real quick.
You're good.
Oh, yeah. All right, I'm back. So where was we at?
gap between, oh no, you said you were taking classes in the
Take
military.
classes in the military
Plus
online.
you're online with Liberty.
So let's time out. I want to pull some shit out of Liberty real quick. Why the fuck can I get in online, but I couldn't get in residential? Ain't that the same shit? Wouldn't it be harder online with like this?
Yeah, what?
Like, how can I get in online but not residential?
They should be more willing. They should be more willing to take you residential because then you're paying for room and board.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense.
God had a plan for me.
Yeah. Anyway.
So yeah, grinded. Then like, and at that point I was taking business classes, business administration, like accounting classes, because my mom, she's an accountant. You know, that's her thing. And I was like, fuck it, I might as well do what she do. That shit was wiping my ass out. So after like the first semester, I was like, nah. So nah. So I stopped. And after that, I just continued to work until I got out. And then when I got out, I had to call my mom and be like, look, I'm getting out the military. You know, this shit's about to be over with. But I had to build up to that. I knew way ahead of time, but I had to build up. I had to build up and let her know. Like, I had to tell her. She was supportive. I don't know why I'm always so scared to tell her stuff, but she's very supportive of everything I do.
Going back though, real quick, when you left the military, you got a couple surgeries on your ankles, right?
Ankles and my foot, yeah.
In your foot?
Ankles and my foot, yeah. So yeah, I didn't walk like properly.
Was that the reason for why you decided to step away from the Army?
Ankles, foot, and my heart. All those things together, you know. Like my tail end, like let's say 5 months right before I got out the Army, I had passed out, and I was at Vanderbilt for like 2 weeks. I was admitted to Vanderbilt for like 2 weeks. So I had some shit going on in my chest, my heart, or whatever. It wasn't new to me, but all the stuff they were finding was new to me. I knew I always had a heart problem, but I just thought it was high blood pressure. Cool, whatever. But, you know, everything else they were finding. But anyways, those are the reasons that I decided to get out. I could try to stay in and work through all that, but what they offered me, it made more sense. Plus, I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy being. I wasn't happy being in the Army, man. It was cool. I met some great people. Shout out my boy Mike, you know. But I met some great people. I just wasn't happy. Right. I knew I would be happier out here, setting up HopeNation, you know, making beats, working on music or whatever the case may be. I knew I would be happier by myself in my own place, in my own space, just doing my own thing, being able to be me. In the Army, like, it was a great stepping stone. I don't knock it because it was good. It helped me get to where I am now, but now I'm in a place where I feel like I can do more. There's more outlets. You know, I can be free, more free, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. Not as free, but still.
Right. But, all right, so let's talk a little bit about your music then, too. I can't let that go unnoticed here with my man. I know you've been working hard on that since high school.
Funny thing is, my mom and them don't even know I make music. My brother do, Jacob, he know I make it, but they don't even know I make it. A lot of people don't take me serious because I went class clown. So they look at it as like a parody skit. But I've been writing since I was like in elementary school.
Yeah, I've noticed that you've used it as like a poetry outlet sometimes.
Yeah, I've been writing poetry since I was like in elementary school. I was in an orchestra my 5th grade year. I played the cello. 6th and 7th grade year, I played the trombone, not the trombone, the baritone. Cam sat right behind me. So me and Cam was always on that music stuff together, you know. Cam sat right behind me. I made my first song when I was like in the 8th grade. I recorded it on the phone.
Recorded on your phone?
Yeah, I recorded like 5
What was the song? Was that New Trophy?
No, New Trophies actually was freshman year. New Trophies was freshman year. That was the one that actually blew up. Not blew up, but it got like popular around Lafayette. It got popular around Lafayette. A lot of people knew about New Trophies, bro. Yeah.
That was big.
Yeah, like people actually knew about it, which was cool. But now it's more of I'm learning more of like how to just be free with it. Just write, just be me, you know. Love the music. It helps me a lot. Music and art. I do a lot of drawing. Just a lot of stuff that like, yeah, I was an honors art student.
What type of drawing?
Just stuff. Whatever. Like most of my tattoos I drew.
I was about to say, I know you said earlier that you
tattoos I drew, you know.
Designed.
You know, when we went to Kill or when I was taking all those pictures, I used a lot of those pictures in my senior spotlight when it came to my art stuff. Just stuff like that, man. Just to be me. I don't like to talk about it much in the open because a lot of people use it as like an attention grabber. But like, I don't talk about it just because it is me. It's so personal to when I make my music or to when I'm drawing or to when I'm just learning things that make me happy, and that's an extension of me. Like with fashion, like I love to make clothes, but I'm not like tweeting about it or, you know, Facebooking about, hey, come buy this, that, and the third. Even though I did just drop a picture not too long ago with a shirt I made. It's gonna be hitting the street soon, man. I can't wait.
Hey, so you've been looking pretty clean lately, not gonna lie.
Yeah, man. Yeah, fashion's always been.
I know you've been making them basically from scratch, but that last Ramon one with the smiles, is that one that you found thrifting or something, and then
from scratch. So the shirt I bought plain, nothing on it. And that's just, like I said, an extension of me, you know, when it's like, you know, okay, what am I gonna do with this shirt? And I thought it'd be cool because I was in a mood where it was like I wasn't okay. You know, at times I'm not okay. And I wasn't okay definitely at that point. But it's like, hey, let me just, Ramon is okay, you know, and just smile. Like, let me talk to myself, you know. And that's what I was doing, just talking to myself. A lot of things I do, I'm talking to myself. When I'm writing and I'm telling somebody to pick their head up, essentially I'm talking to myself. You know, just when I try to express those happy things on other people, amongst other people, I'm talking to myself, you know, serious reflection of me.
So
better person.
We know that you're now on Apple Music. We know that you're now on Spotify. Made the jump from SoundCloud rapper, out of the garage to, you know, now he's out of the office building, or at least the apartment.
Yeah. No, that was a big jump. It was an investment into me. So essentially just purchasing my own distro deal, I guess you could say. You know, make the music, put it out through them. They distribute it everywhere. So yeah, you can catch your way on Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Amazon, whatever you got. But this is not a marketing scheme, so we're not even gonna get deep into the marketing stuff like that.
I'm just wondering, now that you're on these platforms, what's next with it? What's up next, the short term and the long term with the music?
Perfecting it. That's why I've been working for a year on this thing I'm working on now. Perfecting it. Trying to produce everything I do, just perfecting. And shout out Mike C, because he helps me.
Mike C. Hey, we'll get him on here next.
Yeah, he helps me with more than like I help myself with. Shout out to him. That's my boy. We really started. I mean, I've always taken it serious. He's always taking his craft serious, but we started together when we really started recording. You know, me and him started together. You know, sneaking in his crib and his mom not knowing. So he's gonna tell you more about that. I'm not even going. Make sure you write that down. You know, talk about his mom pretty much and his brother not knowing that nigga was in the crib recording music.
That Micah was doing that?
Yeah. No, I used to have to sneak in the crib. I used to sneak in the crib. Or me and Micah used to rap on a track bus, and we used to freestyle in the back. You know, freestyling. Everybody would freestyle. It was fun then. It became a fun thing. Michael would beat on the track kit. I'd do a freestyle, vice versa. You know, we just have fun. Just had like a great time.
Right.
My track brother, my football brother.
Places though.
Yeah. That man there, he focused. That man's focused. You know.
You too though is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm all right.
I'm all right.
Try to be. Yeah, I'm all right.
Slowly but surely. At least you're having fun with it, though. Most importantly.
Yeah, a lot of
Are you having fun with it?
right, exactly. I think if you're, I think there's two things when you're doing something. Either you're having fun with it, or you're very, 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 very passionate about it, and it's a part of you. So much for me, it's I'm very, 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 very passionate about it, and it's a part of me. And I am having fun here and there, but most of my music is I wouldn't even say dark, but just like if you're hearing it, it's my thoughts.
It's
It's
an
like
outlet.
you could tell it's like from my point of view. And then when I put something else out that's fun, you could tell like, oh, he's just having fun. It's two different, you know what I mean? It's two different things. So I'm doing a little bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
A
All
little
right.
bit of both.
All right. So, well, then let's talk a little bit about Hope Nation, because I know initially when we were brainstorming this a couple years ago, our idea
Yeah,
for it
it's been
was
years
to
now.
be able to create a brand around your music and like your connection with the community, kind of similar to what J. Cole's doing with the Dreamville. I'm gonna guess. I already know that's the inspiration. I see it on the shirt. Let's go.
Yeah. Yes, he's definitely. I don't think there's any question about it that he's a big inspiration to me. Everybody know that. But it's so much of my life story. I don't want to shy away from that. So much of like what I've been through and the vision I've always had as a kid, just being me and being able to live like I'm not saying as myself because that sounds weird, but being able to live like how I want to in a good way and just help people. So Hope Nation is such a big, 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 big thing. Meaning, you and I have talked about this. It's hard to explain because there's a music asset or aspect that's going to touch a certain group of people. There's the pretty much the organization that's going to help and benefit towards homeless people or families in need, kids in need. There's that aspect, and then there's the aspect of like my fashion that I want to do. But all those aspects are going to hit in different ways where people are not even going to know that this is connected. You know, just having, and I'm going to do all of it with like a passion. You know, I'm going to do all of it because I love all of those things. Like I love doing those things. I take my time to do those things. Because people need help in all those ways, and those are ways that like growing up for me at least, like damn, like I wanted to be the fly guy for myself. Like I always wanted to be the fly guy, but yeah, I love writing. Like I love music. Am I going to stop that because I want to be fly? But also I want to help people. Like I remember days where like I didn't have this and that and third, and it's like I want all those things now. And now that I can actually provide that to people in some sort of form, I'm going to do it. And once I get to where I need to be, it's going to be it's going to be beautiful. I mean, there's things in with the kids that I want to do where it's like when I hopefully get to this point, I want to be able to provide certain kids therapists. Like my therapist is amazing, by the way. Shout out to her. She might see this. Shout out to you.
Yeah.
She's amazing. But like that, I want to be able to provide people like that to people like me growing up so that they won't get to this point to where they're needing therapy every week or something like that. You get what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with it, by the way. There's nothing wrong with therapy, but I'm trying to break that loop, that cycle. I want to break it. I keep saying the word cycle and loop because what a cycle and loop is, I did. That's
Right.
probably not. I'm gonna use the back of my phone. That's probably you got this. You just going around. You feel me? You hitting the same spots. You're not advancing. You're not advancing. You're not advancing. I'm very religious, I don't think that's what we were meant for. I don't think we're meant to just stay in the same spot and be stationary. And if I can help somebody break that, I will. You know what I'm saying?
All
And
right, so you just touched on a couple of things, but one thing that I want to go back to real quick, and something that you mentioned at the beginning, you said that you wanted to use Hope Nation as a platform to give back and enable kids that may have been in your situation and
it
provide
doesn't even
the
have to be my situation.
opportunity that you didn't have. So
Right.
just speak quickly on that real quick before we jump to the next question. But
Uh,
I think that's a
let's take a
pretty big part of what Hope Nation is.
let's take a flashback. Like we couldn't, I grew up in a motel room with 9 people. Let me put that out there. To me, that was normal. But I didn't notice the pain that it was going to cause me when, like, I went to school or I started getting older. Because when I went to school, I started lying. Then once I got older, I started to realize I had to cover things up and I wasn't being myself. And I've always prided myself on being me. So you can see where it gets conflicting there. Those things can provide that, like, that can happen for kids like that when they don't have the outlet to do what they need to do. You don't have somebody to talk to, or you don't have your space. I mean, even as a kid, you need your space. Imagine being in let's say your living room, maybe a little bit smaller, 2 beds, dresser, and 8 other people. You feel me? Well, like, what is that going to bring? What is that going to create for you? Chaos. Some people can't even share a room with their brother or sister. Better yet, their whole family. That's going to provide chaos. Or let's say there's people worse than that. Kids sleeping on the street.
Chaos.
Yeah, kids sleeping on the street, though. Man, I was riding by the other day, and there was a whole family just sitting outside with signs and begging for money. They look dirty, beat up, like, if it's fake, it's fake. But if it's real, it's like, whoa, it's a wake-up call. You know what I'm saying? And I want to help that. I want to be able to at least take one day of pain away from you. So that way you can look back and say, this person helped me. Now you have a choice to make because somebody took the time out of their day. They became vulnerable for you. Now you got a choice to make to either become better and grow, or take that and pretty much feed and be greedy off of it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping people will make the right choice, but if they don't, they don't. But at the end of the day, I just want to give back. I pride myself on, there's a verse in the Bible that's like my favorite verse. Well, it's my favorite because it applies to me every day. And I'm not saying I'm him. I'm not saying it at all. There's a verse that says something along the lines like, live your life like Jesus did, pretty much. I don't know what it is word for word. It's my favorite, but I don't know. I'm going to be real. And so every day, that's how I try to live. And I think Hope Nation is going to be an extension of that. Something I can leave behind to my kids, my grandkids, whoever. And it's going to touch people forever. It's going to touch people forever, And at least in my lifetime, it won't be an organization where it's like this guy sits up top and he just shits and it hits everybody. It won't be that. You know what I'm saying? We'll all be on the same level. We'll all be right here. Or if we're not all right here and I'm here, I'm going to make sure I provide you with the tools so you can get here and then above me. You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
That's all it's about, man.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's about, I don't know, being able to help them take that first step too. Like,
yeah,
because like you said, it's a cycle, and when you come from an environment like that, it's very easy to fall back into an environment like that, in a cycle like that, and then have kids at a young age, and then maybe
100%.
go through the same thing.
100%.
You ended up taking a little bit of a different route and going through the Army, so like
I ain't had no choice. Hey, I made a promise to myself when my mother passed that my brother was gonna be okay, my sister was gonna be okay, and I meant that. That's what I was gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, let me check this text message real quick. My bad. It was important. Not more important than this though, but I meant that.
We're in the VibeCheck, bro. What the fuck?
Yeah, hashtag VibeCheck.
I'm about to switch up one of my Instagram accounts to be
VibeCheck.
Yeah.
I meant that though. I meant that they were gonna be okay. I meant that Ramon was gonna be okay, that I was gonna be okay. And that became, I felt selfish in a way of like, why should they just be okay? Now that you can help them, why can't you help other people?
Mm-hmm.
That's what that became.
So touching on that then, what are some gifts or blessings that you've come into that may have, been derived or just like come from struggles or hardships beforehand, that you think that you can leverage now to give back to the communities? So like whether that's just like something that you've been through, that you now might be able to look back on, and value?
I'm not out the storm yet, but making it through the heart of the storm, knowing that like shit will really be okay. You know, and I'm talking as a collective of everything I went through. That shit will really be okay. Besides when I got adopted, technically, you know, besides that, I'm living in the nicest place I've lived in. It's nothing crazy, but it's the nicest I've had, and it's mine. You know what I mean? And I started out, you know, hotel, motel, trailer. Like I started out there, you know, and just knowing that like you're not gonna stay there. You're not gonna stay there. What I use as leverage? Are you saying as in what regard? As in like what lessons life taught me and like how I could leverage that or how I did leverage that?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I asked you like two different questions at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't know if
kind
you
of
picked
felt
up on that. I was trying to just roll with it, but it was totally.
It was smooth.
Yeah, fuck it. I don't know. I mean, I guess I would just say lessons at this point.
Yeah. I mean, but what have you seen? You were beside me pretty not all the way, but a lot of the way. A good chunk of the way. What would you do or how would you use that as leverage? What do you think you would do? Then I would piggyback off of that. So if you were to be in that situation or any type of situation similar or anything like that,
Yeah.
I would brighten.
First and foremost, let it be known that like I've never had to worry about like where if the next meal is gonna be there. You know what I mean? So like, and I've never really had to struggle or like worry about like the expectation was I was gonna go to college. So but take it with a grain of salt. But
Yeah, 100%. I want people to understand that he's not trying to be.
yeah,
Like, you're not gonna receive no backlash.
but at the same time, like from an outside perspective, and like I mean, naturally, you can tell that like when you come from an environment like that, like I was saying earlier, like it's easy to fall back into an environment like that.
You're so used to that cycle.
But yeah, I was just gonna say, so like coming from an environment like that, and now you're like, as you said, out of the heart of the storm, or the eye of the storm.
Same thing.
I would say that you now have learned where the struggles are, like whether it be like within the family, from that type of environment, but also, you know, I think we can both agree that the system is slated in certain favor, and the status quo is proven, you know, over the last couple hundred years, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's right.
All this. Just be happy.
So you've seen firsthand how like certain demographics in certain communities get completely shafted. So I know you were joking around earlier. You sent me a text of somebody joking and said that you should be a politician at some point because you come from the mud. So
shout out my boy KP, man, Kyle Peterson, my guy. Met him at CrossFit. Great person. Been working out with him every day. He's a great man. I want to shout him out because that's what it was. He's a good guy. That's why he reminds me of you a lot. Y'all remind me of each other. And I think that's why I gravitate towards him so much because he's a real person. He's very pure. And he said he was joking, but he was very serious about it also. I don't know about that though, but my bad. Continue.
No, I was just going to say, so, I mean, that's kind of like my 2 cents is that you've come from and now you've learned from it and like you've seen firsthand the disadvantages, but then also the opportunities, and you're a living example of taking some of those opportunities and leveraging them. So
I think what my mindset was, I never noticed that it was my mindset, but like, or not gonna say I never noticed it, but I never pointed this out as my mindset, but adapt and overcome. What you gonna do? You know, yeah, I stress out. I get sad. I get down. But at the end of the day, what are you gonna do? Life not gonna stop. Time not gonna wait. You know, and every second you get is a blessing. So what you gonna do with that? Adapt and overcome.
Adapt and overcome.
And that shit sound good, but it's hard. Like, I'm not mastering that. It sounds good. I can give myself great advice sometimes, but it's hard to take. It's hard to do. But adapt and overcome in most situations, I try it, at least, try to adapt and overcome. And just be real. Just be you. Just be you.
Just be you, baby.
Just be you. Like, I know me personally, I've always been me. I haven't changed since the day you met me, since the day whoever met me. Like, I've always been me. I'm going to stay that way. You know what I'm saying? I won't change.
Right.
And yeah, that sounds stubborn. I'm not saying I won't try to be better, the best version of me, but you're still going to get Ramon. You're still going to get me.
Still going to get Moan.
Yeah, you're still going to get Moan. Yeah.
Authentic Moan out here. Let's go.
Hey, that's two different people, man. That's two different people. Nah, I'm playing, but yeah.
All right. So next question is, all right, give me some of your goals, long-term and short-term. Go long-term first, though.
Long-term,
yeah,
trying to be a roster in like a year. Nah, I'm playing. Long-term, man, graduate school, be the first in my family, graduate. That's a big thing, just to show my brother and sister that it's possible. And I mean, for me too, to further myself. Long-term, HopeNation, to have HopeNation up and running and to have some type of website, out there that can help people. Maybe one house bought for them, something like that, or a condo, or something, just something like that long-term. When it comes short-term, I'm gonna keep grinding it on, but short-term, hell, past this semester that we in right now, because we online and just been kicking my ass low key. Keep working out, man, trying to stay consistent, continue to meditate, just to be consistent. In my short term is to be consistent. I know that's like a weird goal, but to be consistent, that's the key.
Not at all.
And just to,
I think that makes total sense.
Just be consistent. Just to, wake up every day, brush my teeth, and wash. Be consistent in those things. Trying to stay me.
Yeah, consistent and persistent, which are real similar. Like, showing up every day is consistent, but then persistent. Like, when you're getting
missions.
when it's tough and you put a barrier.
All right. And I say brush my teeth and wash my face because there's a guy that goes to my gym. His name's Dave, an older man, but he posted something and it was like, it really hit me because it was along the lines of, you don't think about brushing your teeth every day. You just do it. If you're tired in the morning, you get up, you go to the bathroom, you piss, you brush your teeth, you will just do it. You don't think about that. So try and look at like things that will help you, that are hard in the moment, but that will help you in the long run, and just be consistent and just do it. Like when I don't feel like working out or something, just do it. That's gonna help you in the long run. So just being consistent. So brush my teeth and wash my face.
Yeah. I feel that. Okay, cool. All right, so I only got about a couple more questions here for you, but all right, entrepreneur or none?
What you mean?
Are you trying to be an entrepreneur? Is that engraved?
What is an entrepreneur exactly, though? Like,
entrepreneur is like business owner, like self-made, basically. Like entrepreneur is building your own product, organization, service, like from the ground up. Kind of what you're doing with HopeNation.
I would say in regards of
long-term thing, or if it's a short-term thing.
In regards of fashion, hell yeah. Like I'm trying to push these t-shirts and hoodies out and just continue making my own content. Yes, yeah.
I need to get one of those hoodies, one of those shirts here soon.
Got you. 100%. Definitely trying to, in that aspect, yes. When it comes to HopeNation as an organization to help people, I don't know if I want to use the word the word entrepreneur, because I think there's like a negative like aura around the word entrepreneur for some people. People like people who look at the word selfish, and like you instantly just think negative, you know, like, oh, it's negative. Like being selfish is not a negative thing in certain situations. But no, when it comes to that Hope Nation, I think that's going to be more of a hell. I'm stuck. I guess you could say entrepreneur. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you view it like? What's your purpose? What do you think your purpose is?
But my purpose, shit.
I mean, I don't know. That's just you. I'll be honest. I don't know what my purpose is.
Right. I think that God has put a lot of people here. You know, some people may think, oh, we're just put here to be churchgoers. Like, no, I think I get my message from and connecting to Him from just going through things and just calling on Him and thanking Him every day, even when I'm not going through things. In that aspect, I think my purpose is just to help people. You know, like I said, I try and live my life the way the Lord lived His in some ways, meaning just helping people and being an honest person when it comes down to that, just helping them and moving forward, putting one foot in front of the other, doing things that some people don't want to do if it's going to, you know, help out the whole mission, things like that. Things like trying to, at least. I'm not going to try and be like, I'm overly humble. I'm going to take the bullet for you. No, I ain't going to say all that, but I'm trying to. I'm going to keep it real. I'm perfect. Nobody is, but I think that's what it is, just to help. I think it is. And I can help somebody. Right.
All right. Last question. What do you view as success?
I think that's like a vague question in a way, because like what I view as success, I guess you're interviewing me, so I guess that's what matters.
Yeah, take it.
I don't have personally, me, Ramon, I don't have a vision of success. I don't, because some people may think, oh, having a car and a crib is success. Having this much money in your bank account is success. I don't want that, because I talk about being in a loop so much, because it's a fucking poisonous when you think that way, because it's like, yeah, I got it now. Now what I'm gonna do? Now that I'm successful, I reached the point I want to get to. You're not gonna have any passion. You're not gonna have any love. You're gonna lose your emotion, and you're gonna lose your passion. And I don't want to get to that point. I don't want to say I need to get here, and then I'm like just looking stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like I need something, so I'm out here doing dumb stuff. Just to get better every day. So I make it to a point where like somebody else thinks I'm successful. No, I'm not. I don't think so. Like there's a lot of people from where I'm from, like not Williamsburg, but Newport News or whatever, that'd be like, hell yeah, you successful. Like look where you at. You know, you made it out of Virginia. You got your own shit. Like hell no. I feel broke. Like necessary. Like I just feel broke. There's more to get. I'm hungry.
Right. That's fair.
You know,
everything's relative.
It's the next second's I promise. You know, I tell you that all the time, Bryce. The next second, I promise. You know.
If I had a dollar every time you told me that, I'd probably be a million.
Right. Look, I want you to look at success as the word complacent. That's all success is. Another word for complacent. Think about that. That's all success is, because you're hitting a goal, you're getting comfortable. You think you're good enough at that rate or at that level. That's all it is. You're being complacent. Y'all, excuse my list, but you're being complacent. You know.
Interesting take. I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Think about it though. What is complacent? What is being complacent to you, or being comfortable?
What does complacent mean?
No, what to you though? You're sitting down. You're comfortable right now, right? You feel comfortable? You feel good?
I mean, I feel all right.
Yeah, but are you comfortable in your chair? I'm trying to make a point. Are you comfortable in your chair?
I mean, it's not the most comfortable chair if I'm being in time.
Yo, man, get the fuck out of here. But that's my point, man. It's just like I don't want to be. I don't want to be. It could be better. It could always be better. And I'm not chasing to be this flashy person. I'm chasing to be something better, something different, man.
Yeah, Emily and Alexis, shout out the Hype Squad. They were saying they wanted to hear some inspiration from you.
The Hype Squad. Who's the Hype Squad? For one, man, to you guys, first of all, thank you. And I think you could take this whole interview as inspiration. You can take this whole thing as inspiration. Don't take the next second for granted. And I'll break it down. You know, I lost my mother right in front of my eyes. I didn't just lose her. I lost her right in front of my eyes, and I thought everything was going to be okay right before then. So don't take the next second for granted. Live your life. Love somebody. Let them know. Be there. Be the best you. Be the best that you can be. You see somebody on the street asking for $1, man, is it really going to hurt you to take 5 seconds to stop and open your wallet and give them $1? You know what I'm saying? Be that person, because there's not enough people like that. There's not enough people who are willing to help when they have it. It's a reverse, because the people who don't have it are willing to help. They learn how to share. They learn how to be close-knit. But the people who have it aren't willing to do that. Break the mold, man. Break the cycle. You can help somebody. You can teach your kid that. You can teach the person that you just helped out. Maybe when they get on, they can do that for the next person. And now you just helped 2 other people. Now you're going to help be that person, man. Most importantly, though, be you. You know, all this shit don't matter if y'all don't listen. You don't have to listen. This is just what I apply to my life. I do tell people just to be them, be yourself, because at the end of the day, you're living for yourself. And that's a selfish statement, but that's what you're doing. This is what makes me get up and go every day and be hungry about something. Just be hungry, be passionate, be better, be the best you can be. All love.
All right, dog. Good shit.
Yeah, my boy.
That's a wrap on the first interview on VibeCheck.
Next we'll get into, you get some more personal questions. You go back and watch this, and we'll dive deep into more of my life or whatever, or it's just other things. I mean, I also want to let people know that we're Hope Nation, not just me. The guy on the other end of this camera, which is you. Definitely you too, is just as much as you it is as me. So let people know that it's not a big responsibility on you. I don't call you and ask you for shit when it comes to Hope Nation, but it's us. You feel me? So we gonna take this far. I know you asked me questions about it, but we gonna take this far. What are your ideas for Hope Nation? What are your movements and thoughts for it? You know what I'm saying?
Are you asking me? Or are you telling me?
I think when you put "what" in front of a few words, I think that's a question. Yeah.
I don't know. I think that Hope Nation, I'd like to see it go far, at least from like the giving back side of it. I know it's intertwined with the music as well. But I think that if you start by giving back, that could be your platform for the music, like first and foremost. But I also think I don't know, like when you were trying to raise some money from our group for Thanksgiving to try to get some like turkeys for I don't know.
Yeah, we got some turkeys. Turkeys. We had cranberry. We had mac and cheese. We had stuffing. Basic Thanksgiving box, and I appreciate y'all for that. That we got to send to a few families, quite a few, which is awesome.
Shout out Kevin Carouge.
Shout out to him. Yes, big help. That was a big help. When he sent that, I was like, whoa. Because at first I was coming out of my pocket here and there, but that Thanksgiving, the last Thanksgiving, y'all helped out tremendously. And I was very thankful, still thankful. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of shit that'll put somebody on cloud 9. You can make somebody's day like that, Because we were good. I spent Thanksgiving with you. We were good. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Think about people who didn't get to sit at a table. They weren't chilling. They weren't good.
Yeah, you were literally at my place for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I think that there's an opportunity there to actually do some good. But then I also think that with that, you're like pretty involved on the clothing side. So I'd like to see some like e-commerce site come up at some point, or at least just like something, or at least just like some doodles in the short term of like, like some shirts.
You want to see some shit. You want some sketches and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, for sure. I got you. Yeah, I don't want people to take from this video and be like, well, they're not like friends, because like we've been talking so much business. I want people to know that like you're like my best friend. I just want to put that out there. So yeah, I don't want people to, but there's a lot of people like who will watch this will probably just be like, oh, 2 guys having an interview. You know what I'm saying? Like he's in Colorado, he's in Kentucky. Like, no, that's my boy. So yeah. Good stuff, my boy. Thank you, though. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
So, this was
Yeah,
awesome.
it's just a start. We're gonna clip it. We're gonna make some edits. This is just a start.
You're doing the edits.
I'm doing the edits. I'll probably hit you up and do a round 2.
All right. Yeah. No, this was dope. It was. This was dope, my boy. Don't appreciate you, man. Catch you on the flip. Love.
All right. Peace, dog.